good afternoon. Happy New Year's Eve 2024. My name is Alicia. I am the Fanciful Flamingo, and this is my FlossTube channel. So I'm so glad that you decided to come in for a visit today. Grab a drink, grab a snack, and I'll be right back with you. We have quite a few new subscribers, so thank you so much and welcome back. And if you're an old friend, I'm glad to see you. And if this is your first time stopping by, well, hey, I like to start out all of my floss tubes with some prayer and some praise, and that is definitely something that we want to do on the last day of 2024. I hope that 2024 was good for you, and if it was a hard season for you, please know that you are not alone and that you have friends. So, prayers. We, unfortunately, in the past week have had 3 airline accidents in different parts of the world. And losing a loved one at any time is difficult. The holidays, for whatever reason, makes it even extra difficult, and knowing that perhaps some of these fatalities were people that were going home to celebrate these holidays with their families. So let's keep everyone affected by these in our prayers. We are getting some cold weather across this country of ours, and can you believe in the next 2 weeks, South Florida might dip into the 30s. I don't know what I'm not going to get out of bed. And the iguanas are going to be dropping like for flies. So let's pray for everybody, but pray for us Floridians, because we're thin-blooded. And again, please keep everyone in your prayers that is going through a difficult time this holiday season. It is a joyous, joyous season, and this year we had Christmas and Hanukkah celebrated at the same time. In fact, we are in the 8 days of Hanukkah, so happy Hanukkah to those of you who celebrate. But it can be difficult for a lot of people, and I know I shared on my last video that I was in a funk this year. Never 100% got out of it, even with my 11 trees. But let's just pray that those that are sad this time of year, that it is difficult, know that they are not alone, and truly feel God's arms wrapping around them and holding them through this time. And this time shall pass. It will, I promise. I've been there many a time. Praise, I got to follow up with praise. Praise for all those mamas and daddies that move that elf every night. I remember those days. There's nothing like jumping up out of bed at 3 in the morning and realizing that that little guy needs to do something quirky. And social media puts a whole lot of pressure on us to be creative when we're barely surviving being parents. Praise to all those parents who were wrapping gifts. Praise to Santa for making his yearly trip around the world and blessing us all. And I had seen this announced, but I was this morning watching Katie the Novel Stitcher. She has a new floss tube. She had been missing for a while, and we all missed her, but she was missing for good reason, because she's with child. She is. Her and her husband, Alex, are due in May. I know I feel like I'm a proud grandma here for Katie. I have known her, not personally, but like known her through social media and connecting for 2 years while she was dating Alex, while they got engaged, while they got married last year, and now while they're about to be parents-to-be. So she was feeling kind of icky in her first trimester, getting over it, having all the feels, all the tiredness, but also just full of joy for that blessing that's coming in 2025. So praise, praise, praise for her. Yeah. So, again, prayer and praise never hurts. And you know what? If it's not your thing, a kind thought goes a long, long way too. So with that, we will be back in a moment to see what I have been up to in these 2.5 weeks. All right, full disclosure and honesty, because I try to keep it real with you guys. Not a lot of stitching in the last little bit. Honest truth, last Monday, Gavin and I go out and we're running some last minute errands, and I start shopping for Christmas like in August. I have my list of who I need to buy for, and I start getting ideas. So I don't get caught off guard at Christmas with the shopping, but I got caught off guard with the dates. And I'm just going to blame the fact that Thanksgiving was a week later this year. But I digress. So Gavin and I are out last Monday running errands, and somewhere in there, I was saying, I'm so glad that we have another week before Christmas. I feel like I need some downtime. And he looked at me and he's like, Mom, Christmas Eve is tomorrow. Well, all right then. So I decided, since my Thanksgiving to Christmas was chaotic, I was going to take the 12 days of Christmas from the 24th through January 6th, Epiphany, when those crazy wise men that didn't ask for directions finally found Mary and Joseph in Bethlehem. Good Lord. I mean, there's a honking huge star in the sky guiding you, and that even couldn't get you where you were going. You know what? I apologize to the three wise men, because I have GPS and she tells me all the time where to turn, and I never do. Although, and I know I'm pivoting again, but does it bug any of y'all when like GPS is like in 350 feet turn? What's 350 feet? Y'all, I'm from the South. I need a Chick-fil-A, a church, and an old oak tree to guide me. So, sorry, wise men, because I probably would have been lost in the desert too. But anyway, I decided to just take that time and chill out and just do what I wanted to do. So, haven't been stitching a lot, but I got some FFOs out of my FO basket and finished them. And my first one, now, I had painted this box at the beginning of 2024. This is a Hobby Lobby box in their wood section. And I was going to put my project tracker cards in here, but it was a little big. So I ended up finding a recipe box that I like. So this box just kind of sat around. And then if y'all remember, my birthday stitch was Tulips for Rose by Trelly the Spanish Stitcher. And I'll put all that information along the bottom. And I promise today I will put it in the description. So, she is charted in all blue, but I did it in pink and green because those are my favorite colors and the colors here in my studio. And I did the A, the J, and the V in a little bit lighter green, or a lighter pink, excuse me. Those are my initials. And then I put my birth date, and I did it in the European method of the date, the month, and then the year. I know I was born in the 1900s. Ooh, somebody said that the other day, and it tickled me. I was born in the last century. So I put her on foam board and batting, and I had this lace from one of these like lace packets that you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby that has a bunch of strips of lace and ribbons in a bunch. And because she was wider than taller, I felt like it balanced it out on the box. And I just glued her down with Aleene's tacky glue. I love that stuff. To me, it works better than hot glue. Hot glue with the temperature can get brittle. Aleene's never, ever fails me. So I FFO'd. And again, this is by Trelly the Spanish Stitcher. And I'm going to be showing another thing that I've stitched from her. She is my featured designer for the first subscription box that comes out in the middle of January of this year. In my trip around the world, we're starting off in Spain. And this is one of her designs. And I love her work. And again, this is Tulips by Rose, fully finished. This was, again, a box from the wood section at Hobby Lobby. And I just had some green, what is it, like red barrel paint or whatever. Nothing special. And then I did put some of the gold rub on the beads just to get them to stand out a little bit. And she's just going to sit once I take my Christmas decorations down. When I redid my craft room, I had fall. So it was all decorated for fall. And then I decorated for Christmas. And I was sitting here the other night, and I realized that once this goes down, my little room's going to be empty. But I'm not shopping. Maybe, possibly. But this is going to sit up there. And y'all want to see a companion piece that was meant to be? My dear sweet friend, Mary Griffin, in 2023, gifted me this pattern by JBW Designs. And I stitched it in 2024 as part of my 24 in 2024. So if y'all can follow all of that. And Annie, the proper stitcher, had stitched this last year, and she had found a beautiful frame on Amazon, and it was green, and I loved it. I found this frame at Hobby Lobby, and I believe I've seen a couple other people frame it the same way. But this is Eliza's French Birds by JBW Designs. Again, it came out in 2023. I stitched it in 2024. Thank you, Mary, for this special gift. And this was just a simple frame from Hobby Lobby. I took the glass out, and I used the glass as the template. Again, just on some foam board, 2 things of quilt batting, and I laced it. But it's just set in here. It's not glued in here or anything. I made it tight enough where it can just sit in here. And I stitched this one on all the called for. And hold on, because I'm going to try to hold these both up. These are going to sit together on that shelf. Look at that. Look at that. It's like they were meant to be. So I am excited to have that on my shelf all the time to look at. But these are 2 of my FFOs that I did I'm going to do what I want to do after Christmas. And then I had showed y'all last time that I had quite a few prairie schoolers that I had finished stitching, but not fully finished. And so I did a couple of those. This was the 2023 last year's that I had finished, and now I fully finished it. This, I believe, is some Raleigh Blake fabric. I don't know. It was in a fat quarter bundle. And this is just 2 pieces of foam board. And then just, this is Lady Dot Creates Snow Rickrack around it. And then this pom-pom is, I had actually bought, it's probably like 10 yards on a spool of pom-pom. I found it at Marshall's, and it's a Martha Stewart line. Thought I had it on here. And so I did, but I didn't want to do pom-pom or rickrack on both, but I felt like it needed all that white for all that snow. And then this is just one of these little packets of ornaments that came, I think, in the card making section for the holidays at Hobby Lobby. And then just the baker's twine to hang it. Katie Strachan has done this with sequins and everything, and it is stunning. But that's the 2023, so it's done. And then, if y'all remember last time, I realized that Gavin, who was born in 2010, I had stitched his ornament but never fully finished it for my prairie schooler tree. So I did that one. And this is the 2010, which is the year Gavin was born. And this is a board from Chantel 141 Design. This is from her 2023 Christmas ornament box, but this is a standard in her shop. And it is absolutely the perfect size for prairie schoolers. I'm gonna be buying more. Same green that I painted my box in. It's just a acrylic paint. Same more of that fabric out of that bundle. And then again, this was Hobby Lobby little like 6-pack. And this might have been like in their miniature tree section. And I just glued it on there. And Aleene's is so good and so strong that this is the hook for it, and it's been on my tree now for 2 weeks. And these boards are a little weighty, and the Aleene's holds just fine. So I got that one finished, and then I was determined to finish the 2024 ornament before 2024 finished, and I did. When I originally started this, I didn't know if I was going to do all of the backstitch trees because it's kind of a Scandinavian theme. And I didn't think I was, but then I was like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. So here is the 2024 Santa. The only thing I did is up here it says Noel. And I've said this a million times. I take the words out now and put the year so that I know what year the ornament was. And so since Noel on here would have gone all the way across, my 2024 did not. So I took, where the heck is it? I took some of these little ivy leaves and just kind of mirrored it over here to fill in that gap. And my 2024 is done. Same fabric, one of Chantel's tag boards. This turned out with the batting and everything, because I can't measure. I thought I was just doing 1/4 inch. And if that's 1/4 inch, then I don't even know what an inch is. So it ended up being a little bit bigger for the board, but I think it's great. Some more baker's twine. And this, I just wanted to show y'all. This piece right here. I had bought these on clearance at Hobby Lobby a few years ago. These little windows. And that's this. I took it apart. It just pops off because it's hot glue. And just used pieces of it, of a red one, as my topper. And here, I just wanted to show y'all, this is what it looks like without it. It's got some more hot glue that I'll peel off. Because when I bought these, I actually thought of finding some little small ornaments that I could stitch and use this. But I just never found anything to cross stitch small enough. So that's what I did. So you can find little pieces and twigs. I learned this from Chantel at 141 Design. She did a tour of Hobby Lobby maybe 2 Christmases ago. And she showed where she would buy like small wreaths and picks and pull them apart and use them. And it was so brilliant, I copied her. And so I've got 3 more of the 8 that I have finished. And I didn't do all 8 this year. Done. And then yesterday, this is the 2019 that I was determined to finish for this year because it has the sheep. And I love sheep. And I'm just doing this one into a pillow. And I'm actually going to do something funky up here and hang it this way. I know I was watching Lori Holt's latest floss tube, and she is finishing hers all the same. And I love that. And I have done a booklet of small Santas, all finished the same. But for me, yes, I am stitching them not every year. I just started them like 3 years ago, and I try to do 6 a year. But in my head, I was like, if I had started from when we got married, which is my goal, I wouldn't have finished them all the same. I would have finished them different every year. And from 1996 to now, there's all kinds of finishings that we've learned. So for me, I want each of them to be different. And going forward, you know, I do 1 a year. And so mine are all different and all different on my tree. Now, the hard part for me is thinking of different things to do with each of them. But this one's going to be a pillow, and he's going to hang like this. So I'll finish him today. That's as far as I got on that. But that's a lot of finishing, y'all. God's honest truth, I did most of this 2 nights ago. My insomnia is back. I went to bed yesterday at 8 in the morning, and I slept from 8 to 11. I was going to film this yesterday, but I could not put 2 sentences together yesterday to save my life. So I just couldn't sleep. So that's what I did. I did finishes. So not a ton of stitching going on, except that I did finish my 2024 Santa. And I'm going to tell you, even though that's just back stitching, it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I don't remember why. I don't like back stitching. Hey, those of you that are designing for Prairie Schooler, in case you watch me, 2025, X-nay on the back stitching A. Okay? Thank you. I'll be back in a moment to show you I have a start that is now a whip. And honestly, I think that's the only other thing I've done. Be right back. It's such a funk I couldn't remember. I have 2. And I just want to show y'all. My dear sweet friend, Nancy Bender, the Disorderly Stitcher, is making project bags now. And she had posted some about a month ago, and I called her and I said, I need them. I need them. Y'all know that I love me Just Como stitches, but I saw the, and y'all know I can't pass up a quilted bag. So I just want to show y'all. This is from Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher, and I'll put her Etsy shop along the bottom and a link in the description. I promise. I promise. And I love, this one has a little frog on the zipper pull. I need all the help I can get. This was from my dear sweet friend, April Jackson, Crafty Blue Bonnet, Jingle All the Way. Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches was doing a stitch along with this. When April folks showed this again, I called her right away and said, yes, ma'am, I knew that right away. And she sent me quite a few, or a couple anyway, and these were giveaways in my 25 Days of Christmas on my Facebook page. And thank all of y'all that participated in that. Oh, it was fun. We had fun. So this is what I have done. I did change the colors to match some of the other things that I had stitched for Christmas this year. I had just pulled some color and cotton, and that's what I was using. So what do I have left? I need to do this little border down here, and I haven't decided if I'm going to fill this in or not, or just leave it like this. I keep going back and forth, but I'm going to finish it. I've done this once before with a Primrose Cottage, one of their B series. I'm going to finish it into a roll pillow. I'm going to put some fabric on the sides and kind of almost tie it up like a candy. It's not really easy to see. And I'm going to put it in my bowl with my bigger pillows for Christmas next year. Sorry, it's not ironed, but I don't iron till the end. Y'all let me know if I should fill it in with the white or just leave it. It's just laziness on my part. It would almost be done if I don't fill in all that white. But the white does make it pop. I go back and forth. Y'all let me know on that. So I have worked on that over these days. And I will tell you, here are the colors that I am using. For the kind of the pop of the white and the white in the quilt stars, I do need to add the dark green onto there. I am using pink clay, and it has just a little bitty tinge of pink on it. For the red, I'm using Merlot. For the dark green, I'm using Evergreen. That didn't take a lot on my part, did it? And for the light green, I'm using Fritz. And I'll put those in the description. I promise you, one of my goals for 2025 is to get better about writing all this stuff down. But y'all, by the time I edit it and upload it, I'm ready to be done with it. Filming is an all-day thing. And I love it because I get to spend time with y'all, although I'd love it more if y'all were here. So that is one thing that I have been doing. And then, in all fairness, I bought this as a kit from Farm Girl Dry Goods. I buy a lot of her kits because it makes it easy. And it's Winter Moon by Plum Street. Y'all have seen it a million times. My friend Jess Como Stitches said quite a few people were stitching on this for Christmas. I've got this thing caught up in my hoop. Excuse me one moment. So, this is Winter Moon. I have the Summer Moon. I think we're just missing one of them. Maybe spring or fall. But I have them. Sorry, I'm going to take it out. And y'all just go, if y'all have on earbuds, sorry, because it's going to crinkle. Winter Moon. Paulette Plum Street, her and her houses. Now, this one isn't huge. This is 149 by 168. But that house is going to be some work. So, this came right before Christmas. Again, it was kitted up. I got the pattern. I got the flosses, thank goodness, because there's a lot of them. There's a few DMCs, so I did my thread winder and made little tags with these little gift tags from Hobby Lobby that we all use. It's looking rough. It's been used a lot already. So, and it came with the fabric. So it was a no-brainer to start it. And this is what I did not stitch yesterday. Again, I had 3 hours of sleep, could not put 2 sentences together. And even though I'm crazy as crazy comes, even I knew I couldn't stitch yesterday. So I'm doing a page at a time. There's 4 pages. I started in the corner, the left corner, and I'm doing the trees. Now, I will tell you that in her pattern, these trees they're different shades. It's juniper and spinach maybe. And you can see a difference. My two skeins were almost exactly the same. And I looked at it and looked at it a million times trying to make sure that I didn't grab the same thread twice. So up close, maybe you can see a little bit of a difference, but not a lot in these two. That's okay. Every tree in the forest is in a different color. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of sick of the green. I'm thinking that today I'm just going to jump over and outline what I have of the roof on the first page. And I'm torn if I'm going to do that jackrabbit on the top. Nothing against him. He's super cute. Nothing against putting an animal on top of a house. Carrie Tiger Lily and I kind of have a thing about that. I just don't know. I just don't know. And even though it's winter moon and it does have some holly and some ivy on there, I think I could leave this up all year round once it's finished. This is not, I said I would exclusively stitch on this for the 12 days of Christmas. And then on January 6th, I'm going to start my signature sampler of Annie's English Rose. I might put a stitch or two in it tomorrow. It is not just a blessing sampler, but we kind of released it as a blessing sampler for January. The old wives' tale that if you stitch and finish a sampler in January, your needle will be blessed for the entire year. Hate to burst y'all's bubble if y'all believe in that kind of stuff, but I have done a sampler in January for the last 2 years, and my needle is cursed. It is anything but blessed. In fact, I rebuke you, Satan. Get out of my needle for 2025. So those, and this bag is also from Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher. Teresa Kogut. Love it, love it, love it, love it. She put another frog on the zipper. I love that. Look at the inside. Golly dang, it's beautiful. So those are my starts and whips that are now whips since I've seen you last. That's what I worked on. Not a whole lot to show, and I will say that I last year went back to almost monogamous stitching. I do have 3 starts scheduled in January because, again, I don't have a lick of sense. But I prefer monogamous stitching. I will say that probably, and I don't stitch huge ones, except I'm about to this year, 2 of them. So my samplers and stuff are more on the medium size. So if I stitch on them every single day, I can usually get one done in 2 or 3 weeks. I will say the 2-week mark is when I'm about like, I don't know if I want to keep stitching on this, but at that point I'm so close, I'm just like, let's just keep going and finish it. Having said that, my plans for January, I'll be right back and show you. So last year from Pam and Steph, talked about stitching 24 and 24 in 2024. And I love that idea, and I picked 24 patterns that I wanted to do. I kitted them all up between November and December. I spun a little wheel and let the wheel tell me what to stitch on each month, and it worked for me. I got off in about October because I just got everybody stitching fall and Christmas. I got the seasonal bug. I am only carrying 3 whips from 2024 into 2025. And I have 1 whip from 2023. And that one is Christmas in July by Plum Street. And I have about half of it done. And there was no excuse to finish it last year. I just didn't. So from 2024, I have not finished Nottingham by Kathy Barrick. I have not finished, again, y'all know me, Hollow's Eve, Liz Matthews. And I have not finished Feast of Friendship. let's not talk about that right now. So those are the whips that I am carrying into 2025. Other than that, I am going to plan maybe quarterly this year. I have a ton of stuff kitted up, ready to go. I know what I'm doing in January and February, but let's talk about January, because that's tomorrow. So, talked about Annie, the proper stitcher, and I collaborated on the signature sampler for January. And this was a reproduction that she reimagined. This is in the signature sampler box. Now, if you pre-ordered, they all went out December 15th. We do have a few left, and if you order, and it doesn't have to be just in January. I mean, this is a beautiful sampler. If you order, we are caught up, and they ship the day that you order. So, this is the sampler, and I will put some stitches in this because I am using this for my blessing sampler. And it came with, you could choose 18 count or 36 count Mellowstone by Atomic Ranch. So I've already marked it, marked my starting point. It's ready to go tomorrow. And it came, we worked with Victoria Clayton Silks, and she charted these beautiful colors. This box I got at Joann's. I think Carrie Tiger Lily turned me on to these little boxes for her spools. You also get some pins, decorative pins from Jersey Girl Stitch Company. You get a bespoke needle minder by dadgummit, Moose Designs. There's something else with it. You get some beautiful embroidery scissors. You get Bowen 26 size needles. You get a scissor fob. And we are, if you ordered it, or if you order it, you will get an email with a special. We're gonna Zoom twice in January and stitch along with it. So that is one of my plans for January. My second one is, and that's gonna be English Rose Sal 2025. Hashtag English Rose Sal 2025. My next one is, I'm telling you, I gotta get off these Zooms with my friends because no good ever comes of it. Carrie Tiger Lily and Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher decided that they were gonna stitch Anniversaries of the Heart. And I sat through probably 2 hours of that Zoom like, nope, not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. But I had some of them. I don't know what happened by the end of the Zoom. I was like, okay, I'll do it too. So, but this is a year long. There's 12, I think there's 14 because Carrie said that one, oh yes, there's a bonus pattern on number 12. Because you know, they're just wanting enough. I think there's a bonus pattern on 2 of them because I'm pretty sure that Carrie said that there's 14 in total. I am missing number 10. And I think those of us that decided to stitch it, we're going to stitch it all on one piece. I just watched Jess, her video from yesterday, and she's thinking about maybe breaking it up. Maybe not doing all of them, but doing some that she loves. I am almost positive that I am going to use 36 count hand churned butter because you needed half a yard. Because Carrie said so, and Carrie does math. There's a few colors that I'm afraid might wash out a little bit, but honestly, when you're doing 12 houses from 12 different little books, the way they did it, it does have a different fabric on each one, but it'll be fine. So I will start and put in a couple stitches on this one tomorrow, which is January. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I love 7. 8, 9, 10. I do have them all. 11 and 12. Good thing I didn't order 10. I will say I had, I think 2 of number 1. And I paid that forward. So that one is all ready to go. I am only going to pull, again, Carrie Tiger Lily on her Patreon. And her Patreon is free to join. There is another level that you can pay and you get some Zooms, and she does a lot of tutorials, which are just fabulous, especially for knitting and for quilting and for bag making. Well worth the money. But she has it broken down into how many skeins of each color that you need. I am going to just pull my skeins each month. And it's sitting in this beautiful Como Stitches bag. And my English Rose sampler is in another Como Stitches bag. I have this thing about trying to theme up my bags. So, this is PT bags. I love this. And Jane and Jen swear that I'm the one that initiated this sow. I think they're big fat phony liars because I don't really like doing sows, except I'm doing 3 of them. But this was a Lori Holt show on one of her latest floss tubes, GH 1857, and I have had this book for a year or 2. Okay. In all fairness, when I bought this book, Contented Needleworker Kim may have shown this, and it just came over me. It was put out in 2022, and I went and bought it without reading anything because y'all know that I love to do that. I have never done a BAP. Never, ever, 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 ever. I do read instructions before I start stitching. I do. But I don't when I buy it. This, see this? See this tiny little picture? Obviously it's scaled. This thing is 301 stitches wide. 301 stitches wide by 294 stitches high. What? This will be my first BAP. To let you know, I went to pull the floss because I have a full collection of Classic Colorworks, Weeks, Gast. Straw, Weeks Dye Works, straw, 8 skeins. 8 skeins. Now, she has a thoughtful DMC conversion, and of the DMC, it only takes 5. 8 skeins of straw. I didn't have 8 skeins of straw. I got to go up to the cross stitch cupboard and buy more. 2 skeins of chickpea, 2 skeins of fathom, 2 skeins of deep sea, and another 8 skeins of tarragon for this. Now, this is a year-long sow, and this is, this hashtag is hashtag no restraint 2025, because our dear friend Tam Totten, who is not stitching it with us, thought she would be cute and put that in a text, and I said, yes, ma'am, that's what I'm going to call it. It does come with this thoughtful thing for your floss in the book. Now, this is a big old book, and it has an alphabet for you, and it also has, what is this? A little mattress pillow that you can make. Hey, Jane and Jen, why didn't we decide just to do the mattress? Why didn't we do that? Because that's like 63 by 63 by 63. Why couldn't we have done that? I ask us now. And then it has a needle book. And the needle book is 129 by 40. Y'all. So it has a lot of stuff in this book, and I say that to say it has an oval pin cushion and scissor fob. The book is an investment, but it has a lot in it. We couldn't have chosen to do any of this other stuff. The pattern itself is split into 6 pages. And so, since apparently I'm leading this stitch along, I decided in my infinite wisdom, oh, it even has a pin drum. I know, I'm just discovering everything in this book that I bought 12 years ago. That we would do 1 page every 2 months. to make, since it's 6 pages, and then we would stitch this throughout the year. Wasn't that brilliant of me? It'd been more brilliant if I'd have said we were just gonna stitch the needle book or something, but what else? I'm in it now. I'm in it now. I am stitching this on 36 count. It called for 32 count. Oh, excuse me, someone's at my front door. Well, totally forgot about that delivery today. We are putting in a fire pit by the pool, and I had ordered 4 Adirondack chairs that just got delivered. So, sorry about that. It's part of our 2025 home improvement projects. I digress. So, I am using 36 count praline by Forbidden Fiber Co. for GH 1857. And I had a half a yard of this. I think I bought this at Inspired Needle. I think I did. I don't know. Or I either bought it at Inspired Needle or I bought it at the New England Stitch Retreat. So, and I am using the called for of the weeks, and I pulled them. It only calls for 1 DMC. Look at that. I think that's going to show up really, really nice. So my January plans are the 3 starts. One is the sampler that I want to do for my blessing sampler, and the other 2 will be year-long stitch-alongs. And I think it'll be doable the way we've broken them down. I work better with a plan. It helps my ADHD to focus. If I don't have a plan, even though I have a lot of stuff kitted up and sometimes I might just deviate from it, I get overwhelmed with too many choices. So having a clear focus helps me in my stitching and helps me enjoy it. For February, I am going to be doing a red sampler that my friend Carrie Tiger Lily released this year. But we will talk more about that next month. And let's see, I got all scattered now. We did our FFOs. We did an FO. We've done my whips and starts. We've done my plans. So I guess we're ready for a little chit chat. Y'all still have some time to visit with me? Let's go sit down. I have to say that in the last video, I got a lot of questions on my floor lamp that I have. It is an Alt-Light, and I got it at Joann's, and they do run 50% sales. So I know that they have it on Amazon as well, but if you can get it at 50% off at Joann's, it is worth the wait. The stand comes with it. The light has, and I'm just going to show y'all, 4 different settings, and you can change it from the cool to the warm. And it also has a little charging port in it for your iPad. So it does have that. And I just wanted to address that. And again, I will put it in the descriptions at the bottom. I did have one more fully finished that I forgot until I came to sit down to go over my purchases. I don't know if you remember, I had this little freebie pattern from the cross stitch cupboard last year, and I took it with me when I went to the Stitch New England retreat, and I stitched it on the plane, came back and added some beads to it. And I fully finished it this week. And one of the things that I wanted to show you in my purchases is that when I was at Hobby Lobby a few weeks ago, I just looked in their wood section, and they had these little, I think they're meant to paint on, but they come in a pack of 3, and I've already opened my pack. Again, in the unfinished wood section. And these were $7.99, so they do qualify for the 40% off, and that's how I got them. I think if it's under $5.99 in their unfinished wood, the sale never applies. But these came in a pack of 3, $7.99, 40% off. It's $3.20 off. I don't know, y'all do the math. So, because math. That's what I used to mount it on. And I just painted all of the unfinished wood around it. Again, I have some different bottles of red acrylic, or different bottles of acrylic paint. I did paint it on the back and on the sides too, just because of the way, you know, when it's on a tree. Some little more fabric from a fat quarter bundle. This little rickrack came from Michael's in their Christmas section, and it's a ton of it. And then I had these Christmas beads and these little pins from when I used to make decorative pins myself. And so I just got out my E7000 or B7000, I think it is, and made just 2 little finishing pins for it, for my tree. But I wanted to show you that because these are an inexpensive way to finish off some of your Christmas ornaments. And you don't even have to paint them if you don't want to. It'll look great just with the natural. So I did that. Now, these are not all purchases from our last one. I did purchase some more things in November. In fact, I haven't purchased anything since our last one. I've gotten some things in the mail. I belong to the Heartland Quilting and Stitching subscription that they do in conjunction with Lady Dot Creates. And it's an exclusive for the year that they have these. This is exclusive between Lady Dot's and Heartland. You cannot get these colors on Lady Dot's shop. The only way to get them is through this. And you get 3 yards of the rickrack, 3 yards of the chenille, and 3 yards of the pom-pom. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I haven't been disappointed 1 month in the colors. And it's a great way to stock up on. These are the little pieces that when I go to finish stuff, pillows and things, sometimes I forget and I don't have. And so my finishes sit. So I got that in the mail. And I love me a turkey. Y'all know that? So I did order the Plum Street samplers, Grateful and Willing. I don't think this is a, yeah, this was a release from this year. I mean, it's got the flag, it's got, this isn't necessarily just a fall, but I did order that one, and it came in. And then I had seen a lot of people stitch this at Thanksgiving, and I got the bug and wanted to do it, and my friend Kim Ladd, who's in one of our stitching groups, and we Zoomed together, said, well, I'll do it with you if you buy it. Say no more, Kim. So I am going to do Thomas for next year. I sure am. Not Forgotten Farm. Y'all, I don't really have a lot of FOMO, and thank the Lord he did not make me have an envious heart, but I coveted this thing. I did. I shall repent. And then I saw people stitching this one in the fall, and I had to have it. This is another Plum Street Gobble. This was one from 2007. So I got that one. I mean, I am who I am, who I am. And then this one came from, I order quite a few things from Hillside Rookery. They are an ONS on Etsy. I get their stuff off of Etsy. Fantastic shipping. This was Plum Street's Jack's Bash. And people were stitching this in October. And really, I had no business at all buying it. But when I redid my room, I knew for different seasons I would want to switch out the samplers that will adorn this wall. And I thought that would be a beautiful one to have up from like September to November. So that's been sitting in my stash to put away, but I wanted to show y'all. I would like to stitch this in January, but my January is looking kind of full. I bought this maybe at the Library Stitchers. I could be wrong, but I think I did. This is Seasonal Courier, Cardinals Winter by Robin Pickens. And y'all know I have a cardinal tree as one of my Christmas themed trees. And so I'm going to do this and frame it and put it somewhere near that tree. What else do I have? We'll show some of those in my next one. And then I showed you Tulips for Rose that I had stitched from Trelly the Spanish Stitcher. And I had mentioned that she is my featured designer for the first subscription box of 2025 in our trip around the world. And I wanted to show you something else I had stitched by her. She is in Spain. She has an Etsy shop. And we need to promote these new stitchers. We need to help them. The only way that we are going to continue in this beloved hobby of ours and keep going and keep growing is to encourage new stitchers to join us. So this was part of, I think it was a 3 pattern release that she did in July for Independence Day. And I haven't fully finished it. I was talking to her the other night. We do WhatsApp and chat. And I thought about it at the time and I didn't. I am going to unstitch the 2024. And I am going to rechart this to say 1776. And I'm going to stitch it in red. So that it will be part of my patriotic. The red, white, and blue in 1776. And I did talk to her about it and get her thoughts on it. But this is in her Etsy shop as well. And having said that, again, the subscription box is still open. You can sign up for the January box. It will start shipping out January 15th. So the 14th, you can still sign up to get this box. And she designed Winter Love for us. And I just wanted, last year they were a secret, but this year, I'm gonna give y'all a quick sneak peek. There you go. That's it. You get this beautiful pattern. You get the DMC flosses. You get coordinating Lady Dot Creates Rick Rack. You get coordinating Riley Blake fabric. You can finish it in a pillow. You can mount it however you'd like. I am going to put mine on a board from Chantel's 141 Design. This time you are getting a thread winder from some dear friends of mine in South Carolina who I have worked with before as well. And again, I'll put the link to my Shopify shop at the bottom. So the signature sampler, we have a few still available if you'd like to purchase it. And this subscription box this is the first of the 4 for this year, will mail out January 15th. Whew, I'm telling you, that doorbell knocked me for a loop. I don't know about y'all, but I'm having a hard enough time trying to figure out what day of the week it is. Obviously, since last week, I thought we still had a week until Christmas. Not a lick of sense, I tell you. So, I just want to ask y'all, do you plan for the new year? Do you just fly by the seat of your pants? I know my friend Kim, Contented Needleworker Kim, and Shelly, Antique Needleworkers, every day, they just sit and think, what do I feel like stitching on today? And then they go to either their whips or their kits and they pick something. And that is fabulous. I wish I could do that. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I sit down to stitch whatever's planned for that day and I'm like, no, not today. I mean, this is a hobby and it's supposed to be enjoyable. And there's nothing set in stone and there are no rules. I was thinking about that the other day because I don't know what I was working on. And I was like, man, when we used to buy our kits and stuff at Michael's and those lavender and lace things, we'd have to highlight them all the time. I never made a working copy back in the 80s and 90s. I just wrote on my pattern. Because when it was done, I would throw the pattern away. Lord knows I wasn't ever going to do the lavender and lace twice. And what do I do now when I finish my patterns? They go in a basket. And my baskets, I went from 1 basket to 2 baskets to 3 baskets of finished patterns that were just sitting there like books. Now, sometimes I will read a book again. Not a lot, but there are some that I do read over and over. I am not one to stitch a pattern twice. Some of y'all at Christmas, I wish I could remember what her name was, stitched like 12 of the same pattern to gift. Listen, y'all. My friends know I love them. I would give you a kidney before I stitch 12 patterns for y'all. A group of us who were at the All Things Winter Retreat, I talked about this in my last one, and I'm going to insert here what I made, because now that she has it, my friend Felicia, this was my gift to her. So I'm going to stop a second and insert it. So, filming a little bit out of order this week, but by the time I record my next floss tube, these gifts will already have been sent to their recipient. So we did a gift exchange among some stitchy friends that met for the first time at Annabella's All Things Winter Retreat almost 2 years ago now. And the person I got is super dear to me. She moved away. She used to live in Florida. But I decided that the Not Forgotten Farms PDFs that she just released at the beginning of the month were absolutely perfect and what I wanted to stitch. So I stitched St. Nick. I stitched the Mrs. Claus. And then I stitched, I think this might have been called Ho Ho Ho, but I wanted to send her all 3 of them as my gift. So I made them into pillows. The only thing I didn't do was it had, I think, some stitching here for like the little ball. And I had these little pine cones. Sorry, it's not focusing real great. And so to kind of tie them all together, I put a pine cone on each one. And these were just scraps of fabric I had. So I don't know what they are. I do know that they are all 32 count. And I did use, I used the call fours that were on it. So the back was, I had bought a fat quarter bundle. And so I used the same fabrics from the bundle on all 3. And then just some red felt that I had because I stitched them all the way around and then slit the back. So this covers the slit, this felt. And then I just cut a little square of coordinating fabric and then put the 2024 charm. So she would know the year. And then I went to my local antique market. I was looking for a basket. They didn't have anything I like, but I found this little vintage tin. So I bought it, and she can display them, hopefully a little bit better than I'm doing, but she can display them in the tin. So, and each of these probably took me a day to do. So I'm going to get these in the mail tomorrow. But I just wanted to share them with you. Bye, y'all. I also realized in doing this little exchange that I'm the worst gift giver in the world, because Jody and Holly and Jess and Jess Como Stitches and Jess Sweetwater, the stuff that they sent each other, holy moly, and Felicia sent to me. I mean, it was like Narnia's closet. That box just kept on giving and kept on giving. I sent her 3 piddly pillows in a vintage tin. The end. Y'all don't want to do an exchange with me. That's not one of my gifts from God. But my stitch from Felicia, y'all, look at this. And the book is He Leadeth Me. But look at this. And it's somewhat curious. There'll be a picture of it in my intro. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Did I say look at that? Look at that. I will treasure this forever. Just like I treasure, Jody made me this year. And there's another one. These are all, a lot of these are handmade ornaments that have been gifted to me. I'm going to digress for a second in this chit chat. This chit chat's going to be all over the place, y'all, as most of mine are. My daughter thinks I should leave this tree in my craft room up all year. I don't know. I'm torn. If I do, I'm certainly not going to change it out for the seasons because y'all are nuts if y'all think I can do that. I do enjoy it, and I do like seeing the twinkly lights at night. And she says because there's so many vintage and handmade ornaments that it goes with the theme of my studio, and I don't disagree. But tell me if y'all think I should leave this up all year. You know, there's no rules in life. If there's one thing that I have learned in my 54 years on this earth is that there are no rules. And there shouldn't. I mean, there are rules, like you have to stop at a stop sign. I mean, let's not be ridiculous. But when it comes to your hobbies and what makes you happy, if you want to, I'm not going to leave all 11 trees up all year. They are still up. My trees stay up until January 6th. I very much am one that cherishes the 12 days of Christmas from Christmas Eve until Epiphany. And mine stay up. I will start taking ornaments off this week. My big tree stays up with the ornaments and everything. I told you I was going to digress all over the place. Y'all feel sorry for my friends trying to find a little conversation with me. But going back to all of that, Felicia, you are just, you're an amazing friend, and I miss you, but I know you're happy in Minnesota with your children. And so I am happy for you, but selfishly, I miss you here in Florida. But look at this gift. My children got me my ornament that I wanted, and my countertop, my big bar. We had done the perimeter countertops in the kitchen. My big bar got installed the Saturday before Christmas. And that was a gift from my husband. And y'all might think it's weird, but I don't need material things. I have been purging. That's the other thing I've been doing on these days. I have gone through every closet, every drawer, every handbag, and every article of clothing in every closet in this house. It started with this room when I redid it, and it felt so good that I just kept going with it. I am not a clothes hoarder. Clothes are not my love language. Shoes are not my love language. But having said that, I still gave away 5 bags of shoes, purses, and clothes. And I feel so good having done that. I went through the entire kitchen, and we may have had more expired items than we did things I could cook with. That's all gone. But I will insert here a picture of my new island. I love it. And we have been sitting there for our meals. That is what I wanted in my heart of hearts for years. I wanted an open kitchen with a big island near my cooktop so I could be cooking and prepping, and my family could sit around and we could talk while meals were being prepped. And we have eaten there since Saturday was a week ago, right? Yes, every meal. And we've always sat around the table, but even the conversations just seem to be more relaxed and funny around this bar, and it is my dream. And my son had his friends over last weekend. They went touring Christmas lights, and all of his friends were around the bar, and we made cookies. That is the greatest gift in the world, is the memories. We are fortunate enough, and we have worked hard, that I am able to give my children certain material gifts. When I want something within reason, I am able to go out and buy it. That doesn't mean a thing to me. When I leave this world, I want my children to have these memories, that they remember, that when they get together with their families, when Vince and I are long gone, will say, oh, do you remember when we'd sit around and we play games, or we do a puzzle, or we went on this trip? That's what I want. Do you remember when crazy mom put up her 11 trees and we had the one with our trips or with our school pictures? That's what I want to leave my children, are the memories. Because my dad passed away in 2008, and my mom passed away in 2022. But they left me memories, and I cherish them. I'm going to get emotional, and I'm just not going to do that. Not gonna do that today. So what I had delivered today is we are putting a fire pit by our pool. We had our pool redone last year, and so now we're working on the landscaping and everything in the backyard, because if you go into our backyard, and I will, look, full disclosure here, my house isn't always picked up, my toilets aren't always clean, whatever, it builds immunity, and my backyard is a hot mess express. And really the only times that we can landscape down here without dying is December to about March. So here's a picture, full disclosure. It looks like the house is vacant, but we are working on the landscaping, and we can't replace the fence this year. That is not in the budget this year. So we're slapping lipstick on a pig and just freshening up the paint. But I got these 4 and it was a splurge. I went to a garden center and got these poly wood, really thick, really big Adirondack chairs, because down here in South Florida, with the chlorine from the pool and the salt air from the ocean and everything, it will eat up anything. So we got these 4 Adirondack chairs. The boys and my husband are going to finish the fire pit this weekend, and it's going to get chilly down here in about 2 weeks, and we are going to sit by that fire pit at night and make more memories. So those were my Christmas gifts. I was spoiled rotten with them. I thank you, Vince, for knowing my love language. But yeah, I know we got off on all this with the plans and stuff, and then I got carried away with my gifts and my family, and I'm sorry. If you guys know me, you know that my greatest gift in life was to be a mom. It was very difficult for us. We were married a long time before we had children, but then God blessed us with a girl, and then 7 years later, a boy. And they keep us on our toes. And those are the things that I want to take into 2025. Let's wrap it up with that. I do not stay up on New Year's Eve. I am not a New Year's Eve person. There's not really a lot of traditions or things that we do. Usually Vincent and I are asleep, and then when some idiot shoots off a firework, which then makes my dogs bark, I will wake up, roll over, nudge him, and go, Happy New Year, and he'll mumble Happy New Year, and then we go back to sleep. My kids do like to stay up and stuff, but the resolutions for 2025, we are hoping to do 2 trips this year with our children, which was one of the things. Our Christmas this year was not very materialistic because we don't need anything. We as a family had sat down and agreed that we would plan each year and vote on 2 trips that we would take a year. And so that's what we are doing in 2025. My first retreat that I am going to is the Barefoot Landing Retreat in Myrtle Beach in February. Well, I will get to see my dear sweet friend Nicole. And I have some retreats. We are doing Stitch Florida again in September. I'm going to keep on doing my boxes as long as y'all want them. I do enjoy that very, very much. And I thank each and every one of you who makes the conscious effort, and it is an effort, to purchase one of the boxes. I do appreciate you. You guys made my 2024 better than I could have ever thought, wished, prayed for. I hope to continue to make even more of you in 2025, and just to continue to do this hobby that we all love. Happy New Year. If you are going out, be safe, and always remember you are not alone, and choose joy. And let's take joy into 2025. We all have control over that. Even in the situations that bring us down, we can choose joy. Love y'all all. Hope to see you in 2 weeks. Bye. Doggone it, I did it again. And I even wrote things down today. I forgot the giveaways. Silly me. And yes, I'm calling them giveaways. And yes, if you're a troll on. Can I just tell you that we had a lot of new subscribers from the last video, and thank y'all. And we had so many comments, and I read them all. I try to heart them all. I try to comment when I can. But y'all just lift me up so much. Thank you for the words of encouragement with Feast of Friendship, and just for me being blah. But I forgot the giveaways. Silly me. All the giveaways from the last video have, from 2 videos ago, have been sent out. The only one that's left to get back with me is Fractor Flower. So this time we were doing the Go Tell It on the Mountain series by my dear sweet friend Annie Turner, Proper Stitcher. Go Tell It on the Mountain. He is born. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. And over the hills and everywhere. Look at that church. So, my notes. The notes of my notes. So, the recipient of this trio is Jean Bajay, Geannebigay, and I'll put it along the bottom. Jeannebigaj. You get this trio. Congratulations. And then my dear sweet friend Lori Wilson also very generously gifted patterns from her Christmas series, and y'all know she's the reason I do have my Jesus tree. So the Miracle in a Manger bowl series, these are five patterns in this one. Miracle is Paulette Kurt Costa 8902. Paulette Kurt Costa 8902. Saint Nick, this feather tree, Lord have mercy, I love it. Saint Nick feather tree is Deb Morrison 6846. Deb Morrison 6846. The Saint Nick feather tree. And then last but certainly not least, the Nativity feather tree is Brenda Bellman 1141. Brenda Bellman with 2 N's 1141. You get the Nativity feather tree. So if you guys will email me at shop@fancifulflamingo.com with your physical mailing address, I will get these out to you. And so I want to give some things forward. I told y'all that I have the Prairie Schoolers, as many as I have been able to find, from 1996 forward, because that's the year I got married. Well, apparently in my zeal one year, I was just buying with no rhyme or reason. And I bought 1994. I do love them because I love sunflowers and birds and everything, but 1994. So if you would like this one, just put PS 1994 in the comments. PS 1994. And I do ask, if you don't mind, that you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave the comment. That helps me, and it also helps me pay for the shipping on all of these. So the next one is PS 1995. So if you'd like this one, just comment PS 1995. And then these are the ones that I just finished and showed. We have PS 2016 with the deer. I love that long beard. I love it. And then we have PS 2018. That's snowman, if you're into snowmen. So PS 2018. And then just to get a little away from Christmas, I have a heart and hand everyday things. The everyday sweet little things are the most beautiful. And that is the pattern and all the DMCs. Yeah. So if you would like this, what are we calling this one? Everyday things. Everyday things. So those are going forward. So again, thank you again. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, I always forget something. It's the Hot Mess Express, folks. Love y'all all. Bye.